Hello everyone, your warm welcome to the course of ISO 27001. So now in this video we're going to start on clauses. So as you aware that there are clauses that are called mandatory clauses from clause 4 to clause 10. So today I have prepared the documentation from my side, and I'll going to add the link of my Google Drive below this video so that you can able to access the same PDF that I'm accessing now. This all PDF is created by myself only, and I have visited a couple of documents, couple of websites to get the best out of all. So without wasting a much, let's get started. So as in this video you can able to see here, the first one is starting with section 4. So the section 4 is context of organization. You have a coffee shop and you just thought that you will going to make an application where you will going to deal with all the delivery, and you also allow them to have pick and pick up also and delivery also. So what you'll do is that once you have a coffee shop, this is the cafe, okay, and you started thinking of creating an application. So now what you'll do is you're not going to focus now on your coffee. Definitely you're going to hand it over to your technician or your brewer who will going to prepare a coffee, but your main important task now time is that to handle customer details, right? So what all customer details are important now? The customer is going to make payment online, so you will going to have take care of customer data. So the customer data involved from online, you can say that the credit card details, right? Then also sometimes some sellers used to start with third party payment gateway, that the third party is handling those, right? So these all are the facts that you should look around. So if for example, if a company, if you're going to start a company, if you're not looking at this bigger picture to provide the security to your organization, then you are failing to deliver to the customers rightfully, right? So now I'm going to take you over to this particular sheet. So how's this clause 4, that clause number 4, how will it going to help you out? So you can see over here that to protect the organization asset. So if you are a brewer or if you have a coffee shop, what all are asset to you, right? The machinery is your asset. You can say there are a couple of assets as well, your items, your purchase that you're making, these all are the assets, right? Your hardware, your software for running the online payments, everything is your asset, right? Now there are two ways that you can add up here as internally and externally. So what is internally and what is externally? So for example, there are something that the organization have control over is called internally, and that does not have a control, we don't have any control, are called external. To identify the risk, okay, what all risk to you? So for example, if you are making an online payment, or if you started the self pickup, or let's take an example that the customer credit card details, right? So these all are the inherent risks that poses to your asset, right? So for my hardware, this is the risk, right? This analysis help you analyze the process and strengthen the ISMS. ISMS is Information Security Management System, right? Now what are internal context? So internal context, basically we can think it in a way that I have the diagram with me, that these all are the internal issues. Okay, so let's take the organization structure. So lack of dedicated cybersecurity team. So for example, if you have your software, your firewall, your hardware, your, if for example, if your technician, if the team, if your IT team is not able to handle the security. So let's take an example that if your firewall, if your internal employee is visiting anywhere outside, and if there's no security of IPS, if there's no IPS security, then you must be failing. Then lack of employee awareness, your employee does not have awareness of any phishing links. He can able to click on any of the emails, any of the URLs that are attached in the emails. So this is called lacking of employee. Outdated IT infrastructure. Let's take that your firewall has not patched with the latest updates, not firmware updates. So this is called hardware outdated. Outdated policies and processes. For example, you before have a policy that one employee credential will be work lifelong. Now what we able to do is we create a policy that the password lasts long for 30 days. After 30 days the employee has to change it. So these all are the policies. Lack of skills, the employees does not have interpersonal skills, that how to deal with pressure, how to deal with the extra things that are called internal issues. Now what all, so these all are the things that are internal context. So maturity means that your organization does not have the rules and policies in place. So there are no rules and policies. I'll just mark it out the important things that will help you out. Organization culture, your organization culture is such a relaxed that employee is coming not doing the work, he does not take any responsibilities, he does not take care of the roles. So these are all the cultures that the organization is relaxed, they don't know when, how, where the employee work, the employee does not know, they does not know how to implementing the controls. So what all policies controls that are created by management, the employees are not following that. The management does not have a clear channel of communication. Some they are contacting on WhatsApp, some they are contacting on emails. That is not a rightful way of communication. Size, I, are you single size working employee? For example, you have the firewall, you have hardware, you have software, but you have only the size of the IT team is only one person handling everything. He cannot able to do it. So if you can tell that you are going to tell them to check the logs also, to also create the policy. So SOC, NOC, everything is performed by one person is not possible. Resource maturity, are the resource of your company, are if your employees are fully trained or not. The contractors who giving you giving third party contracts, are they trained that how to handle your organization? So these all are the internal context. Now the next thing is external context. So I have already told you, let's discuss this table, that the external issues. Regulatory changes, for example, there are regulatory changes came from RBI. If you are in India, or there's any extra rule that came up, if you're not following that, then this could be the external issue. Economic condition, you can add it up over that. For example, prices are now increases. So for example, the client from which you purchase a software was $2,000 before. Now because of inflation the price reaches to $3,000. You have to pay it because you have to secure your organization. That is called economic condition. Technological advancement, before there's traditional firewall, now these all are technological advancement, that is next generation firewall. Supply chain risk, all the risk that is related to supply chain, you cannot handle that. Natural disaster, you cannot have any control over flood, earthquake, right? So always remember that under clause 4 there are, first thing we have covered over here is context of organization. This is something that a deep down thing that I am taking now. It includes internal issues and external issues. So for example, if you're starting your business, you first have to identify what all internal issues you have. Okay, what or challenges are you facing internally, and what are challenges that you're facing externally. Now external, so external is competitiveness. There are rapidly changing the market, right? If you're not working with the updates, you definitely going to lack, right? Landlord, you definitely have the approvals from the physical security. Regulators and enforcement bodies, so what are enforcement bodies? That there are government laws, audits and strict data regulations. So data regulations refers to a different countries that are having a different regulation. So for example, if you heard of GDPR, then in India also there are different types of regulations that you follow. So when you're dealing with customer data, there are certain roles and responsibilities that are mentioned by certain regulatory bodies, right? Now economic and political, as I said that the geopolitical situation affect the company. Prevalence of information security attacks, are your company majorly top interest of threat actors? For example, if you are working in bank, okay, or if you're working in education institute, most important thing you have to identify is threat actors. What are the things that are threat to you? For example, you have your school, A school have a student data, the parents data, the parents payment portal, the parents contact number, the diseases or the health card of that particular student. So everything needs to be secure. So the company have to identify the threat actors, things that are threat to an organization. Okay, now let's take this up as external issues. We also have the same for internal issues as well. So for internal issues, confidentiality of data. What are the issues? Employees unawareness. If employees are unaware, what it will happen is that there's a phishing attack. You should enter it in risk register. Yes, so as we discussed already about the risk register, this is something that the auditor needs to maintain. So you have to first mention it. The auditor will going to ask you that what all risk, how much livelihood and impact each risk, your risk acceptance, your risk tolerance, everything needs to be mentioned. Proactive management. For example, if your organization does not maintain the incident response policy, then what will happen? That there will be increasing attack. What attack will lead to? The attack will lead to financial damage, right? That your money will go. So you should include it, yes, and also yes. So these are all the internal issues. Now let's take the external issues. ISMS objectives, issues, okay, regulatory compliance. If we fail to implement the control, if you fail it, if you don't make any rules for the regulatory compliance, what will do? Your company will be non-compliant, then you have to pay money. To whom? To the regulatory bodies that you are not implemented that. So for example, this is for the security, right? And you didn't do it, so you have to add it in risk registered. Yes. Then robust information security posture. For example, if as I said that the economic condition leads to the software subscription at higher rates, what it will does is that you discontinue, or if the license expire, if you fail to renew it, what will it happen? That maybe there could be a loss, maybe financial loss, maybe the data loss, or maybe there is a ransomware attack, right? So you should add it. Yes, we should add it. So far I have covered this one, right? 4.1 I'll mention over here. So 4.1 mention it as context of organization. Now there's a 4.2. 4.2 is basically interested parties.